Verifying trig identities. So in the first example, we have secant squared of u minus 1 over secant squared of u equals sine squared of u. So when you're verifying trig identities, basically what you're trying to do is prove that this side equals this side, that they're the same. So the first thing that we're going to do for this example is change the numerator, secant squared of u minus 1. And referring to our cheat sheet, specifically the Pythagorean identities, you can see that when you manipulate this middle equation, and what I mean by manipulate is move the 1 over to the right side, you get tan squared of theta equals secant squared of theta minus 1. So we can see here in the numerator that we have secant squared of u minus 1. So we can change that to tan squared of u. And now I'm just going to drag down the rest of the equation. So over secant squared of u equals sine squared of u. Now the next thing we're going to do is change the numerator once more, because we know that tan is the same thing as saying sine divided by cosine. So I'm going to change tan squared of u to sine squared of u over cosine squared of u. And then that's going to be all over secant squared of u equals sine squared of u. So now we're going to change the denominator because secant is the same thing as saying 1 over cosine. So this is going to be sine squared of u over cosine squared of u all over 1 over cosine squared of u. And this equals sine squared of u. So now we're going to want to multiply these two fractions, and we can do that by doing keep, change, flip. So I'm just going to move this up here. So you're going to have sine squared of u over cosine squared of u times, flip this bottom equation, cosine squared of u over 1. And this still equals sine squared of u. So you can see that the denominator in the first fraction and the numerator in the second fraction are the same, so they cancel out. And we're left with sine squared of u over 1 times 1 over 1. And this gives us sine squared of u over 1 equals sine squared of u. And we all know that sine squared of u over 1 is the same thing as saying sine squared of u. So sine squared of u equals sine square of u. And this identity works out.